Good morning, my name is Audrey June, aka Softchild Oracle, and I am here today. I'm in a really good mood today, and I am going to pull from the Lightworker Oracle. And simply, now that we're on the other side of this full moon, I am going to ask the question: what energy should we be focusing in on in August? So, what does Spirit want to tell us for August? Feels a lot lighter right now. Okay. So we got Dark Night of Soul. So that's 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 is the divine number. It's number of initiation. And we see her here, holding a ball of light from above and then below, kind of in that child, that weeping, that moment of everything crashing down, and then the light worker rising up out of that. So if you know anything about the Dark Night of the Soul, a lot of us collectively, like, July was the Dark Night of the Soul, and I kind of see this card coming up as we are still integrating the lessons from the Dark Night of the Soul, just like, and collectively too, the Dark Night of the Soul, a lot of what everybody's been experiencing lately has to do with this, right? So let's see what our book has to say about the Dark Night of the Soul. But in most spiritual practices, in order for you to really get to the point, it's through the Dark Night of the Soul that you get to awakening, right? So you're ready for a more real and radiant relationship with the divine. Your preconceived ideas and safe, limiting beliefs may be sacrificed in order for this to happen. This is the tower moment. It's where everything crumbles. To be sacrificed to the divine, these are only the clothing of your spirit. They're impediments to the absolute intimacy the divine seeks with you. You might feel vulnerable or uncertain as the divine goes about stripping away these barriers. This is when you enter the Dark Night of the Soul. You understand there is nothing to rely upon but the divine, and you will find it difficult to trust at times. This night will end, however, and the sweetness of the divine dawning in your heart shall render all worthwhile. But for now, you are meant to feel exactly as you feel. You're not doing anything wrong. You're moving closer to the divine. Even though you already are on a spiritual path of this lifetime, you can go deeper. Sometimes people know this and yet are afraid. Familiar with emotional drama, they are hesitant to let go of what they know, even if that is emotional suffering and mental anguish. That fear prevents them from being willing to trust in the loving hand reaching out to them. It might seem silly, yet letting go of fear to take hold of the hand of love can be extraordinarily difficult. If you don't trust that love will hold you, letting go can seem like allowing yourself to fall into an abyss. A feeling of madness may plague you as you wonder if you are sane to leave a known world behind you and enter into the darkness of your own doubt and fear. You sense that the old self and the familiar ways will not survive this dark night, even if you know in your heart that this sort of spiritual death is opening you up to a new life, a new beginning. It can still be profoundly confronting. The only way to end the dark night is to go through it, to endure it, and know that although you will not understand how it could be possible, it will transform itself into the sweetest grace. In time, you shall be on your knees, not in despairing prayer, dearest child of love, but in gratitude, peace, and devotion. So this really comes back down to sometimes we get isolated, everything falls apart in order for us to come closer to God, right? Somebody I love dearly always told me this, that isolation, that despair, that hopelessness of everything around you falling apart is really God reaching out to you. The only way to end the dark night is to go through it, to endure it, and know that although you will not understand how it could be possible, it will transform itself into the sweetest grace. In time, you shall be on your knees, not in despairing prayer, but in gratitude, peace, and devotion. Though it begins as a challenge, the dark night of the soul will become a saving grace. Love knows you are ready. No matter what you may think at this time of struggle, you are ready to take the spiritual test and emerge more in love with the divine than ever. Remember, this is an advanced initiation and therefore challenging at a profound spiritual level, right? So you might be experiencing spiritual attacks. You might be experiencing everybody around you really just turning on you, not understanding you. Remember this, therefore get some support. Even though you walk the path alone, another can help bear witness to your process and remind you that you're on a noble path of empowerment. In truth, also, you may feel your guidance has abandoned you. In truth, they are with you even more closely, whispering words of encouragement, hope, and love. Look for the love within and let it guide you through the dark night. The dark night of the soul of love is calling into me, calling me to let go of fear, to release my every doubt and say instead, I know that love is more real, more powerful than anything else. I invite the healing presence of unconditional divine love into my heart now. Bring me the peace and spiritual blessing that I need to be freed from the darkness and open to the sweet light of love's truth. May all beings caught in darkness be assisted by unconditional love. To see, feel, and know that the path of love is theirs forever. Through my own free will, so be it. So the second card that jumped out here, and that one was on the bottom, which I think is significant because I feel that although the dark night of the soul lasts a long time and a lot of us are still going through it, some of us are on the other side of that. And so the next card that we have here is Master number 33, right? 33, which is Master Healing, right? We know that 33 is important because it is the Master Teacher number. It has to do with the Ascended Masters. It has to do specifically with Jesus Christ. It is a powerful number, and if you don't know about it, I would look it up because it's an amazing number. So what I notice here is that we have a being who is opening the book, and we see right here that this is the light language, and there are multiple oars, and then we see the entire universe and the stars above the being, and that the hair is kind of like full of electricity and magnetism, demonstrating a closer connection and understanding to the divine. So Master Healing, this has to do with going above and into different dimensions. This has to do with really delving into the universe and understanding ourselves as the source of universal light and sharing that outwardly with the people around us, right? I keep getting distracted by the ants again. We all know how the ants love me. All right, so Master 33. Master Healing. As you meditate, remain true to what inspires your heart and commit to your spiritual path. You become an increasingly powerful healer, right? So people are coming, they're magnetized by you. You can tell them things about themselves that they don't necessarily know, that you would know. Just these bursts of inspiration. You're here to live your own life, to be true to what genuinely moves you. The unconditionally loving guide and ascended master Serapis Bey comes to you now with a blessing of Master Healing to further your success on your path. The Master Serapis Bey is a beloved guide for those who feel a strong soul connection to ancient Egypt. For healers who are already developing their own modalities, and those who love to work with high-frequency concepts. He also assists with the translation of spiritual inspiration into practical worldly plans. He comes to confirm that the Ascended Masters are aware of you. You're an integral part of a powerful spiritual team that has taken place in physical incarnation to help awaken consciousness into love. You're asked to tune into your heart. What do you love enough to overcome any obstacle to attain it? What motivates and inspires you? No, not what seems possible or practical, but what is actually authentic. We are most powerful when we serve authentically from the heart. A bird might learn how to dive under the water from time to time, but it never is going to be as powerful as it is when it's in the air. It would struggle to thrive underwater if it were to force itself into such unnatural expressions of its life energy, right? This is what most people do in this matrix. People force themselves to go to jobs that they don't really feel any passion for. They force themselves to be a slave to the system, a slave to other people, because they don't see that they are capable of more. You too have divine nature and purpose, and your heart holds the clue. What feels most like you? It's difficult to access the truth of our own nature when we believe we should live up to the expectations of others. If we are attached to an outcome or afraid of an answer, we can unintentionally block our perceptive faculties, a spiritual version of sticking our fingers in our ears and shouting blah, blah, blah. The blessing of Serapis Bey includes his clear flame of divine cleansing light. This can assist us in letting go of whatever blocks us from knowing the truth of our nature. When we are willing to be who we are, the universe can more easily guide us to fulfill our destinies. Serapis Bey will help you see yourself truthfully. You may gain feedback from others that helps you understand the value of what you share, or you may simply find it easier to view yourself objectively with a compassionate, appreciative, and discerning eye. As you learn and accept who you are, you become a more powerful vibration for masters to put to use in the plan of love. If you have a dream in your heart, know that it has been placed there for divine purpose, right? The details may appear different from what you imagine they would, but the truth remains. This is following the heart. This is the way of the heart. This is the everything. This is following your dreams. The universe is that generous, unconditionally supportive, and loving of you. It is your creative partner. It will provide you with what you need to manifest your dreams, desires, and destiny. So repeat after me the invocation. I call upon loving Master Serapis Bey and his master healing through the clear flame of truth and grace. I ask to know in the perfect time and the perfect way, according to divine wisdom, the truth in all matters of importance to me and my divine life journey now, including. And now you just think about what it is that really lights you up, right? What